Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about why studying abroad is so important, my experience with it, and just hopefully this will give you guys some insight, especially particularly you ladies out there. Back in 2016, I actually studied abroad in France, and it was a really interesting experience. Unlike a lot of other people, I didn't have like the really cool, fun exchange. Like, it wasn't fun at all. So, when I went to France, like I said, back in 2016, I was about like 20, I think. Yeah, I was about like 20 years old. I went there, I was so excited. I thought it was gonna be the time of my life, and it was really informative. But I'm gonna tell you right now, ladies, to how to maximize your study abroad experience and not to have one like I did. I had a lot of highlights and a lot of lowlights, and a lot of the lowlights were probably my fault because I didn't know what I was doing. Once again, you're going to see how this level up experience really plays into all parts of your life, because when I went to France, I thought I was looking so cute and I wasn't. I was a really hot mess. I wasn't paying attention. Now, ladies, when you were studying abroad, it's really easy to get very immersed in the culture. You want to eat 10 times a day. You want to eat the croissant, you want to eat the pain chocolat, you want to eat it all. Like, it's just great. And it's easy to pack on pasta, like everything you're eating. It's easy to pack on 20 pounds. I literally gained 20 pounds when I was studying in France. It was definitely a confidence, not a booster. It just dropped my confidence really low, because I was like, wow, my jeans are not fitting me anymore, and I want to go out and I want to have a good time, and I can't. And I did go out. Believe me, I did go out, but the confidence, like, you need it. And your body, ladies, which is why it's so important to take care of your body, is so important, because you can't. I'm not a believer in wearing crop tops if you don't have the body for it. I'm sorry. I know that sounds like mean, but seriously, if you don't have the stomach to show off, I don't recommend wearing crop tops. That's, unfortunately, I was like, okay, my outfit choices are going to have to shift. I'm going to have to be a bit more creative. Granted, I was there in the beginning of winter, so I didn't have to worry about certain things. I was kind of able to just put my coat on and just my boots and just call it a day. When it came to my hobbies, such as Latin dancing, because there's a lot of festivals, there's a lot of fun things you can do, and with Europe, you can just take a train, you could take Ryanair, take like 20 euro flight, and you're gonna be okay. So when I would go out to these festivals, go out to these parties, when I would go out, like I said, you need to have it, because if you're not comfortable with how something fits on you, like the cut or the color or your hair, this is the time to prepare before you go on your study abroad trip. You need to pack strategically. Don't just think, when I get to my country, I'm just gonna go shopping and I'm gonna get so lucky and it's gonna be so amazing. Don't do what I did, because I did that. I packed maybe for 2 weeks. I was staying there for 6 months. I packed only 2 weeks worth of clothes, and I just said, I'm just gonna go shopping. I'll figure it out when I get there. And then you go to H&M, like you go to H&M in America, and it's the same thing. So you're not really getting anything different or anything fashionable or super different. Unfortunately, you kind of get stuck in a rut. So prepare strategically. Pack your hair tools. Do not rely on these places to have what you need. When I was in France, there was no salon that I could go to. I couldn't translate. Be mindful of the language that you're learning, ladies, because if you're trying to learn, like I was learning French, I was very much at a beginner level. So I didn't feel comfortable communicating, especially when it comes to your hair. That's not something you want to screw up with somebody. So, for example, if you're going to Korea, going to Ukraine, make sure that you know the language, please. Like, you need to have these things together memorized. You need to have your translator figure it out so that you're not getting lost in translation. Do not rely on your English skills, because some people just don't speak English, and you have to be comfortable with the language of the land. And that was one of my pet peeves when I was studying abroad, was that there's just people that didn't really care to learn about the language or the culture. They were just kind of like, hey, I'm American, I want to do what I want. And that's a really stupid, arrogant attitude to have, so just don't be like that. That's also going to, like, turn your experience down. So, that's what I recommend, ladies. Pack strategically. Get those hot outfits on deck. Bring those stilettos. Do not rely on the shopping in the country because they might not have what you need or what you are expecting. That's my recommendation. Please just be prepared with that, because don't be like me and not pack properly and only pack your coats and your boots and your scarves. Those are important, but like I said, most likely you're going to be going out. Most likely you're going to want to be interacting with other students like you. And when they're looking hot and you're not, it sounds so superficial, I understand, but how you present yourself matters, because it gives an idea of how the world should approach you. This is why it's so important on the level up journey. Do it while you are young and ready. There's certain people, you can start when you're 37, you can start when you're 47, but it's different when you're starting at 20, and you have all of these years to get it together. That's my recommendation, ladies. Like I said, pack strategically. And the other one was don't go and expecting these people to have everything you need at these stores, and learn about the culture and the language. If you have to get your Google Translator, do Michelle Thomas, do Pimsleur, do whatever you have to do to get these language skills. Duolingo, figure it out. There's just no excuse not to communicate, especially when you need to get certain things like your nails, your hair. Those are essential things you cannot let go of. Sally Hansen, you get the clip-on, the little press-on nails. Do what you have to do to make sure that you're always on point, because you never know who you're going to meet, ladies. This is what the motto I say. If I were to go right now and you were to drop me off to CVS or CVS in another country, I would have to look the same. My look would have to be consistent at CVS, at the mall, when I'm going out with my friends. The look has to be consistent. It can't be I'm looking crazy ratchet at CVS, looking crazy with Miss Bonetta, okay? And then when we're going out, you're a different person. You're transformed. No, we don't have to have a big transformation. It could just go from daytime look, easily transition to evening look. It doesn't have to be all this hard work. Don't do that to yourself. That's something too that would piss me off, was a lot of Americans look crazy when we're traveling, unfortunately. Look very, very, very casual, and then you end up having this salty attitude. Wow, these women look so beautiful. Oh my gosh, I wish I looked like them. But you have the tools, you just have to use it. You can't get upset at the pretty girl next to you who has her lipstick on, she has the whole thing. You just can't get mad at her. You can literally do the same thing. If your hair is natural, for example, and you have the big Mufasa fro, I'm going to be very gentle when I say this. If you don't have the proper products to make your curls pop and to make it look the way you want, I suggest getting a wig, get a weave, do something, get your clip-ins, get your heating tools, pack them, and have them ready to go. Please, 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 please do that. That is my recommendation. Get lashes, get your lash extensions, get your connections before you leave the country. Get your connections in the other country, so that you're not having to scramble and be like, wow, where do I do this? Where do I do that? How do I, whatever. Just be prepared ahead of time, okay? I've had horror stories of other friends studied abroad. My sister, for example, wanted to get her hair cut. They shaved off half of her head because I think something got lost in translation, and she was speaking Spanish, and she literally shaved off half of her head. I don't think that she wanted it done exactly like that, but hey, it's half of her head. The hair is gone. Please make sure that you are very clear with your expectations, especially when you are maintaining your looks, ladies. That is the most important thing I will say. And for me, when it came to language learning, I would say Michelle Thomas was the best strategy for me with learning French. It's survival, it's conversation. You're not doing grammar, you're not doing anything else. That's what I would suggest to any of you who are trying to learn a language, particularly a romance language, excuse me. And if you're doing an Asiatic language, Korean, Chinese, Vietnamese, I don't really know about that, but as far as the romance languages, Michelle Thomas is the one for you. Do that, ladies. Do practice every time. You never know who you're going to meet at the grocery store, whatever. So please be prepared. So last comment, ladies, is what I will say. I've seen a lot of YouTubers talk about, particularly Black YouTubers talk about their experience abroad and how they were fetishized or how they were this and they were that, and they got so much attention. And here's the thing with that. I personally don't see it that way. If you're the minority and you stand out and that makes you uncomfortable, then studying abroad is not going to be for you. I'll just put it that way. Being different isn't a bad thing. And honestly, ladies, this is why I recommend studying abroad, this particularly for Black women, is because when you are going into an environment where you're different, and you are celebrated, not tolerated, your dating experiences are a lot better. I can tell you that. Your experiences are a lot better, and you don't have to worry about blending in. I think if you like blending in, then this could maybe be a little uncomfortable for you. But I'm telling you, if you want to have something different, you want to have a better dating experience, you want to just get out there, this mentality of, oh my God, he's fetishizing me. I think a lot of it is in your head, okay? And if the reason why don't get me wrong, there are people who are just creepy, okay? But there are other people who are completely normal and they just make comments like, oh wow, like your skin's so pretty or this or that, and don't get offended because once again, I'm gonna do two situations. Place a Black person in the middle of China and you'll see your response. Place a white person in the middle of Africa, like literally, and you'll see the same response. It's just different. People are like, oh, you're different. Oh, wow, awesome. That's all there is to it. Don't make such a big deal of like, oh my God, they're looking at me crazy. Get over it, just please get over it. You're gonna have to accept this when you're studying abroad. To be honest, I didn't really experience anything like that, but I mean, I've heard of my other, like people I know say similar things, and it's just this mentality of like, I want to blend in with the wall and I don't want to stand out, and I want to make sure that you guys are differentiating between a fool who's trying to approach you with like disrespectful and crazy, or just respectfully, we have cultural differences and you're different, I'm different, and we're cool. That's all there is to it, and that's my last note on this. But hopefully this video helps you, ladies. Please comment below. I want to hear your experiences. If you have any questions or anything like that, please feel free to comment below or even DM me. My Instagram link or whatever should be below. So yeah, all right, ladies, I will talk more about these topics a little bit later in other videos, but for now I'll leave it here. So I'll see you guys next time.